Hello, I'm Andrew with Simply Made Homestead. Today I'm going to go over how to modify your automatic waterer so that you can put a sight gauge on that. That way you can quickly look at it and assess how much water is on there and if you need to add more or not without getting on the ladder and opening up the lid or whatnot. So to do this, we're simply going to need a 1 1/4 inch clear tubing. Pick this up at your local box store. It's about $3 and some change a foot. Most of your 5-gallon buckets, you only need about less than 10 inches. So you get a foot and you have some extra. You're going to need a 1/2 inch elbows. Make sure one of the ends is threaded. The other one is not. So 1/2 inch threaded elbows, 90-degree elbows. Need some adapters to go with it. Make sure they're threaded and that they will fit in here. Once again, 1/2 inch. 2 garden hose washers or end washers, just like you see at the end of a garden hose. You'll need an 1/8 inch or a 16th inch drill bit, but importantly you need a 3/4 inch drill bit. Now I have this spade bit here. It works really well. If you don't have one, you don't need to go out and buy one, but make sure that it is 3/4 inch in diameter. Marker, Teflon tape. You may need a couple of wrenches. And 1 hose clamp. This will go on the bottom. You can use 2. There's really not a need for a second one, but 1 definitely. And something to cut the plastic with. Your favorite knife, good scissors. I prefer to use a PVC cutter. These just work really well. And a little tool here to tighten up your hose clamp. You can use, or you can use a screwdriver. So, those are the tools you're going to need. All in all, you probably spend $5 or so on it, and if you don't, $5, maybe $6. This is what it's going to look like here at the end. I just got through doing this here a couple of days ago. They're not leaking and they've held up, but this is ultimately what it's going to look like. So, all right, let's get started. So, I went ahead and just got through draining it. Don't forget to turn it off. Kind of a bummer if you don't. When you go to fill it up, you get water all over the floor. We've got these quick disconnects. You just simply unscrew them. Makes it really nice. Now there's still going to be some water in here left over, so don't get it on you. I'm just going to take this out while I have it down. Go ahead and clean it and empty it. First thing you need to figure out is where you want to place it. So the way it's positioned up there, it sits up here like so, and I'm just going to put it fairly close to this other spigot, but on this side, and that way, as it sits up there while I walk into the shop, I can quickly assess, see how much water is in here. Now when you place it, it doesn't need to be right next to it. In fact, you don't want it. I would make it at least 2 or 3 inches further away from there, because that way, as you clean it, you can get your hands around this and around each one, and then that way it's easier for cleaning. Also, don't put it right on the very bottom, as it also makes it difficult for cleaning. Same thing up on top. It's not really so much as for cleaning, but you're restricted to how high you can go by this rim. So first thing I'm going to do is just take my marker, figure out where we want it. Just using this as a kind of a vertical guide. And I'm going to keep it even with this one. So I'm just going to put a dot here and another dot about 2 inches from the top up here. Okay. Alright, so there's my 2 dots. Take my 16th inch drill bit. Alright, and the only thing that does is it makes it easy for this bit, for your next bit, to get started. Otherwise, it has a tendency to kind of wander around and it won't be exactly where you want it. Alright, so you're going to have a little excess here on the edge. Simply just take your fingers and kind of smooth it out, peel them off. You don't need to take a file or a knife or anything. Just kind of get your fingernail and do it with your hand. All right. So now that you have your holes, go ahead and prep your pipe. Put your Teflon tape on. When you put your Teflon tape, you always wind it in the same direction the threads are going, just like you'd screw it on. That just has the, it just allows it to stay on there better. Otherwise, kind of works against it if you're screwing it on and it's threaded the other way. It has a tendency to slip. So I just go on there about 3 or 4 times. You'll add it righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Alright. Next thing in the preparation is just take these little washers and put them on here. Now they fit a little snug, so they don't go on quite as easy as you would think. You just put on there. I use get 2 fingers on each side and just kind of roll it on there, and it gets on there. Make sure that there's no twists. Everything's level. All right, so those are on. All right, next step. All right, so if they screw it in here. Go ahead and put the outside one on also. Now, sometimes these are pretty cooperative, and then sometimes they're not. Okay. All right. So it needs a little finessing. Just take your pliers. You don't need it too awfully tight. What you want is when you're looking there, you can see that washer, and you don't want it to be completely squished out, flattened out like a little pancake, but you can see that there's quite a bit of wiggle room in there too. So you do want it to be smushed a little bit, but there's no smushing right now. So just need to tighten it up a little bit more. Okay, so hopefully you can see that pretty well. See how well it's just seated. So that's what you want to do with the other one. Alright, so this one's a little pill also. Alright, so they're in there. Make sure this is at a 90 degrees facing each other. Our next step is to cut plastic. So you're going to go, obviously it's going to sit here like so, and you just need to measure from the bottom of this to here. You can get a tape measure. I'm just simply just going to sit here and use a marker and go like so. You can give it a little extra, maybe an extra 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch. It's not going to hurt. Don't cut it too short though, as it makes it, you'd rather be longer than short. All right, so this 1/2 inch, this is just a 1/2 inch pipe. Has no purpose other than for when you cut it. I just stick it in there. It just makes it easier to cut. So this is where you get your scissors, your favorite knife. I'm using these PVC cutters. All right, so that's probably about 7.5, maybe 8 inches long. All right. So when you put this on here, it's just a little snug. Work it a little bit, and it will eventually go on. It doesn't matter if you go top or bottom. First, there you go. Find it, since it's already curled up, I bought it new. It's already been started. Put it on here now. Or you can wait later. It's not going to make a difference. You just have to undo it and do it later. All right, here we go, it's on there. These don't have to be screwed on very tight, and it's important that you put this on the very bottom one. All the weight and the pressure from the water, if it's going to leak, it's going to come out through here, or right through here, or up here. You don't need a hose clamp up on top. There's just not enough pressure for it to come out. First one I did, I needed to put one on here. So this, and it seems, I put it on there, and it's eliminated that problem, and it's worked. So I put them on, all of them now. These aren't very tight. This is set torques of 10. So make sure it's on level. That way it gets a good bite, solid all the way around. All right. There we have it. So here's this, up close. You can see inside, not much different. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put it up on, put some water in there and test it out. Make sure you guys dump it out, get all the filings out before you do that. All right, here, so you can see it foaming up here. All right, I'm kind of at a bad angle, but you just want to look at the entrance here at the bottom, look at the top, make sure there's no water comes out. And I'm going to go ahead and fill it all the way up here. All right, so I can see the top's doing fine. There's no leaks here. There's no leaks here. However, right here at the very bottom, water's starting to come out. So I get to go ahead and drain it, and I'll probably put a washer here on the outside just to kind of buttress that up and reinforce that seal and refill it again. All right, so I went ahead and fixed it. I added this washer here on the back, on the bottom half here, you can see. So we've got two on the inside, and then of course one down here. All right, now let's fix the problem. Let's take it up here and find out. All right, so as the water's rising, just checking to make sure there's no water runs coming in, no teardrops. This looks good so far. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and fill it up to the top. And put a lid on it. All right, so I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, feel free to put some comments on there. I'm sure I made it about as clear as some Mississippi mud, so I'll be glad to answer any questions. And thank you very much for watching. If you got any value out of it, hit that thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. As always, thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and God bless.